Hell yeah. Okay, let's get started. There's the door. There's the door. Uh, why do I make you sprint again? Why are you not sprinting? Also, why are all the button inputs numbers? I might have to. Oh, controls are all jacked up. Are you not gonna let me? This is weird that it's not. Why are they all listed as numbers and not like actual buttons? That's so weird. Am I not allowed to change the camera controls? I just want to play a little bit of Monster Hunter. I don't know, maybe I'm stupid. Oh, it's definitely not. It's not letting me run, and it's not letting me do the camera. That's weird. Oh, because camera tracking's. Wait. Let me try that. Uh, is there a reason why my character isn't. That's so weird. I've never had this issue before. Played this all the way through on Switch and I had no issue. Mouse camera mode. Oh, okay. I really would like to play this with a controller, preferably. This is weird. I might not be able to play with a controller, which doesn't make any sense because the rest of this works fine. I'm not. My character's not running. That's the map button. Yeah, I can't seem to make you run. But if I use the keyboard, they run no sweat. I mean, I could just use the mouse keyboard, I guess. Let me get out here and see maybe if things work better out here. Maybe it's just weird when I'm at, in a town or something. Nope, it still refuses to let me do anything. I can crouch and teabag. I can whistle. Yeah, even the Monstie goes slow. My controller also just died. Um, that's kind of frustrating. Dude, I played through this game 100% on Switch, and it never gave me any issues with controls. Come on. That is why we have. Maybe the Pro controller is just not. Oh, wait, you know what? I think I know. I think I know the problem. Whoa! Okay, easy there. Okay, I know the issue. I know the issue. There's something I've got to adjust in Steam, I do believe. That hopefully I'll remember to turn back off. Yeah, it's... Oh boy, it is... Okay, I hear it struggling. Oh my god, okay, I gotta unplug it for a second. Okay, let me get out of big picture mode. Yeah, force quit. Okay. Yes, I'm well aware that just canceled the what we were streaming. Good God. Okay, well, one moment, we're having technical issues. Tried to pull up OBS again, and I think I just opened Unity. Sure did. That's not what we're trying to do. Okay. Plug you in since you're very close to dying, apparently. I would just like to make sure that you are connected, that you're plugged in. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, looks like it's working at the moment. Let's find out for sure. I think we're still good. I think we're okay. Let's make sure. Does not matter how much priest. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Okay, that's incredible. I just had to change something in Steam. Thank God. Don't let me forget to change it back before I try to do more randomizer again, because otherwise I'll be so confused. Also, camera is way too slow. Let's turn that sucker up. There we go. That's better. Cool, 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 cool. All right. Okay, so now that all that's handled, and that only took 10 minutes essentially, we're just gonna fiddle around with Monster Hunter Stories 2 for a little bit. Um, I will be hanging out with a good friend of mine in about 3 hours or so. So, won't be a crazy long stream. Probably just for a couple hours or so. The controls are slightly different than how it is on the Switch, so it's throwing me off every time. Also, I meant to check something. Okay, frame rate is all the way up. Perfect! Oh, it's so nice. For those who don't know anything about this game, it is Monster Hunter, but an RPG, sorta. It's kind of like Monster Hunter meets Pokemon, except rather than being a full-on every monster has, this many moves, every monster and opposing monsters are the friendly ones, monsters are the enemies, um, can do attacks that, well, they have a bunch of different attacks, abilities. Some are supportive, some are offensive, some are defensive, some are whatever. Um, Hello. I'll show it off right here, actually, with this Penabra. Uh, maybe. Good lord, that was rough. Um, and including yourself. Everything falls under power, speed, or technical. And it's essentially every fight is going to be a game of Rochambeau, or rock, paper, scissors. Uh, so you got to learn what your enemies' attacks are going to be, what they kind of favor. You don't have to have played other Monster Hunter games to be able to play this, but if you have and you kind of know how certain monsters work, for example, say you run into Anjanath. Anjanath is for the most part something that you're going to think is going to use a lot of power attacks because it's a big, beefy T-Rex. But he's also pretty speedy, so he is going to use a lot of speed attacks. But when his nose bone flares up and he's got his fire attacks ready, that's going to be more technical because it's fire, kind of like special attack, sort of. But Nabra, since they can paralyze you, are more technical. And say he's using a tech attack, so I use power, because power beats tech beats speed beats power. If you see a line coming between you and the enemy, or between your Monstie and an enemy, that means there's going to be a head-to-head. Meaning, if you win the head-to-head, you take less damage than you would if you tie on the head-to-head or if you lose the head-to-head. And it will build up your kinship in the middle of the screen right there. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. I'm also going to put, yeah. So, Ranmar here, who is the name of the... I didn't start at the very beginning of the game. I pretty much got through all the tutorial stuff, got settings and stuff set up, and now we're here. Just to make sure that we can jump into the action a little sooner. And I did put a little speed up on the fight so that we can get through this a little quicker and start getting some more monsties. So it's I love this game. I can't say enough good about this game. It is, oh my god. Once again, controls are kind of killing me because I'm used to how it is on the Switch. Yeah. There's treasure and stuff that you can pick up. There's resources like mushrooms, honey, what have you. Goodies, all that. You've got... What's the map button again? Got a map you can look at, blah, blah, blah. There may be eggs that you can get monsties from. Let me out! Eggs that you can get monsties from. Sometimes they're guarded by monsters that you have to beat. Other times they're not. Also, what was that? There. I'm not going to worry too much about doing a lot of fighting early on or trying to level a bunch of these monsties because I do want to grab other monsties specifically that I do want to level up and focus on them. Hello. I don't think I'm going to go for 100%ing. Look, it's a Velocidrome. Wow, the load times are absurd compared to the Switch. Like, I'm used to having to wait a while. Also, Velocidromes are very speedy, same with Velociprey. So expect them to use speed attacks almost constantly. So you want to use tech attacks. If you and your Monstie use the same type of attack, like both tech or both speed or whatever, and win a head-to-head, you'll do a double attack. You can also manually choose your monster's moves as long as you have kinship. In this case, all Ranmar has, since he's essentially the first little monster you get, is speed, so I can't really do much about him. He's going to lose this head-to-head because speed beats speed. Speed beats power, I mean. Um, Also, if you use a skill when you... Every weapon archetype has skills. But if you use a skill and you win a head-to-head, you get extra kinship points, which is nice. And some weapons uh, get boosted up or get charged when you do that. Once you fill up your kinship, you can choose to ride if you want to or not. Once you ride your monster, you can do a big kinship skill that does a lot of damage, or you can choose to keep attacking while on top of the monster and build up your kinship meter more, and it'll do more damage the more levels it goes up. You can go from 1, 2 to 3. Also, I totally wasn't paying attention. It showed the Velocitrum get angry, and that usually means when a monster gets angry like that, it changes its attacks up. So in this case, it's using power now, so we want to go with speed rather than tech still. And of course, these are all head-to-heads because this is really just the two of us. I'm building up to level 3 because why not? And now we'll use Velocicrush, which I didn't want to skip because I wanted to actually show it off, but I missed it. Occasionally you get these little quick time events. Sometimes you gotta mash, other times you have to alternate certain buttons or rotate control stick, depending on the kind of monster you're using, or monstie. And of course, after every fight, you get experience for your monsties and your own rider yourself, and you get items. Because just like any other Monster Hunter game, you get monster parts and other materials and stuff, and you use them to craft weapons and armor. And you can also craft. Um, you don't really get to craft decorations, but you do get you don't get the decorations per se that you would put on your equipment, but you do get where's it there? You do get um, essentially a talisman, which it's kind of like the talismans from Rise, for example, where it's like maybe divine protection and part breaker or whatever. I don't have any of those yet. Of course, I've also only got the basic Kuluyaku armor, and in this game, you only have access between. Oh, whoops, that's a jump button. Uh, Only a few of the weapon archetypes. Sadly, they're not all here, which is unfortunate. But you've got Great Sword, you've got Sword and Shield, you've got Hammer, you've got Hunting Horn, you've got Bow, and you've got Gun Lance. Um, so no dual blades, no regular lance, no insect glaive, charge blade, switch axe, bow guns, um, longsword. Kind of weird, honestly, that longsword was not included. Feels like one that people would have made sure was in it, but doesn't really bother me too much. I'm not a big fan of longsword personally, but doesn't mean I don't try to use it when I can. Oh, hello. I guess I'll fight y'all. Uh, when I first started playing on Switch, I used Gunlance most of the time. Also, Aftermath are just power attack for the most part. When they decide to attack, sometimes they just wait and see. Also, if you see a green health bar, well, actually showing there's the double attack. If you actually see an enemy's health bar, that means you fought them and successfully defeated them before. If you're going up against a monster you haven't fought yet, or a monster in a higher difficulty that you haven't fought them at yet, then their health is grayed out, essentially, and a question mark. Kind of like you're actually fighting a monster in a Monster Hunter game, because you don't exactly know how far you are or when you're going to beat him. But as you get closer to the end, they start panting, they start showing signs of fatigue and everything, but etc. But yeah, like I said, I've like 99.98% completed uh, this game on Switch. The only thing I'm missing is we can skip all this, honestly. The story's nothing too crazy. Once we get to like more important story aspects, I'll pay more attention to them for those who are interested. But also, like I said, I've beaten this game already. Um, yeah, I did a lot of Gunlance and some Hunting Horn when I first started off, and then found out that Sword and Shield is pretty much the way to go. But I've got some of each weapon type. But yeah, Sword and Shield is my go-to. Hammer right behind, and then I alternate between like bow and hunting horn as a tertiary. But great sword's really good too, and gunlance is a lot of fun and has potential to be really good, but its overall damage output is pretty low compared to the others. Of course, like I said, you can forge stuff. Like now we got some Velocidrome stuff in here, Kuligaku, the basic iron stuff, of course. I'm gonna hold off on crafting anything because I do kind of want to work towards some sword and shield stuff, and also because it's not really like you're gonna need a whole lot yet. Sadly, yeah, these are all the weapon types. You can take a look at all the abilities they have. Uh, some of them have different like elemental functions, etc. Of course, there's armor as well. They've got their classic armor looks from like the old Monster Hunter days. There's the basic right armor we start with. We've got the Kululu armor at the moment. You've also got layered armor options. No layered weapons, but not really a big deal. You can sort by what kind of element they're strong against. You can also upgrade your weapons and armor, which is lovely. You can buy some basic stuff here to get you started, and you can sell stuff, of course. You'll notice, oh, he's not here yet. There'll be a little merchant over there we'll talk about later once he shows up. We've got our basic item shop, essentially. Got herbs you can craft. Items, you can combine them together to make stuff like herbs into potions, antidotes into etc. Whetstones are just used for crit rates. Throwing knives are just some basic damage, which you're not really ever going to need throwing knives. And then anything that's a quote-unquote dunker is essentially your overworld healing items. I mean, you can still use potions and stuff, but the dunkers, those are good to save for fights, because the dunkers are only used on the overworld, so those are your go-to, like, post-fight healing, and then you use the other ones. Also, we got some more. As you'll notice, there's side quests and subquests and stuff to do that you can do at any point you feel like. You can accept them all whenever you feel like, and do them whenever. And certain ones you can do as many times as you want. And then other ones are just one-time use, of course. And then there's trial quests, which are essentially arena. So I'll show it off here with the Larinoth one. Oh, charger's popping out. And you'll also notice that we've got our battle buddy with us, which is Kana, I believe is her name. So she is completely computer controlled. I don't get a say in what she does. I cannot control what she or... I could have sworn they were going to be power. Shows how long it's been since I fought one of these before. But yeah, I get no control over what they do, unfortunately. But computers will, of course, attack. They'll use kinship attacks. They'll use skills. They'll use items. Pretty much anything a normal human can do, they can also. Of course, you just can't determine when they'll do what, is the only thing. And of course, Monsties unlock certain abilities and essentially moves and stuff as they level up. You can do these trial quests any amount of times you want, and depending on certain requirements, you can get extra goodies. I can't do it in just one turn at the moment, but of course you can come back when you're a higher level and do it. Of course, every time you pick up Monstie eggs, you can come back to the stable paw here, who's very cute, and you can hatch the eggs. And eggs come in 3 different rarities. You've got your basic common eggs like this. You've got rare eggs, which shine gold when you pick them up out of the nest, and super rare, which shine rainbow when you pick them up. You can take a look at all your monsters here. You can name them at any point. You can rename them as many times as you want. You can check their stats, what they're strong against, what they're weak to, what moves they have, uh, what they unlock and at what level. And you'll notice these locked gene slots. We'll go over those later when we get to them. Like my Kuligaku, for example, will unlock Rock Stampede at level 8. And then there's a couple extra gene slots there. Um, Here you can choose who's in your party. Uh, we have a total of 5 slots at the moment. There will eventually be 6, but we'll go over that later. I'm not going to bother putting the Velocidrome in here right now just because I'm not going to need 3 monsters. Um, Also, this little kid hanging out with an adorable loyal Rudroth, Royal Ludroth. This is your little house that you can hang out in. You can't really decorate, but I'll show it off while I'm here. This is essentially where you can save up. You can also change your character any amount of times you want. This is where you go if you've got layered armor, which we've got the Kimura garb, but I don't really feel like wearing that. You can change up Naviru's outfits. I did not purchase any of the DLC for this because I already have the game and all of its DLC on Switch. Figured I would just get the base game here. You can go here to look at story cutscenes. We didn't see any of these before because I did them off stream. And every time you do a new kinship skill with the monster, it will go here. And yes, these do apply towards completion credit. You can talk to Naviru. He's a little loud. Of course, you got your all your stuff. You got map. You can change who's in charge. Look at your items. Combine items together. For example, we can make potions, which I kind of forgot about. You can take a look at your all your quests you've got selected, including like main objectives and your side quests. And if you've got any monster eggs, you can look. You can look at your equipment, quick heal. There's story quests. Never mind. You can check out, stats and everything. That's essentially notes and stuff. Monster and Monsterpedia and the Book of Genes. As you can see, there is a lot to see. There's also, quote, not DLC, but like the monsters that are added post-release and monsters. And then there's, yeah, if they've got pluses, that means they were added after the game was already released. Same with the Book of Genes. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff. And you got rider cards, just like your actual Monster Hunter games. So you can edit them, which, I mean, I'm not going to bother with that right now. You can exchange them with people, of course. Yada yada. See who you've got. Take a look at your stats. There's a lot of stuff here. It does track how many of each of the weapons you craft / buy. So technically that's something else you can 100%. Co-op quests, in general, battles with friends, playtime, subquests, monsters, slain, percent completion of the Monsterpedia, and Book of Genes, how many eggs you've gotten, the prayer pot, which we'll talk about later, and the expedition slots, which we'll also talk about, and then monsters you frequently use. Looking at them again, and here's your awards essentially. Getting our first, and all we've done so far is get layered armor, which is because I've got Monster Hunter Rise on here. And then your options and your no. So there's a lot to do. It is a fun game. And like I said, I've put a ton of time into this game on the Switch version. I've played a ludicrous amount. It's close to 400 hours. Now, a lot of that time is essentially leaving it on while I do some other stuff in the background and I wait for my Monstie expeditions to go and come back. Those are essentially automated. You can send off a bunch of your monsties to kind of like the Meowster hunters from the earlier games, and whatever they're called in Rise, the whatever the little like Expeditions you can send your Palicos and Palamutes on, but it's essentially that. So man, it's been so long since I played the story of this, I forgot they actually used the glowflies. Just like Monster Hunter World. This is not something that it does much. It does it pretty much through the story, and then after you beat the story, you pretty much just forget that the glowflies exist, like I just mentioned. Did I say glowflies? God, I'm playing too much Splatoon. Scout flies. Yeah, I'm skipping these guys. I don't really need to bother with them. Oh, right, they're further up top. Yeah, I know you're spooked because there's monsters. Excuse me, pardon me. Actually, did I go the wrong way? Is it below me? No, it's up here. Never mind.
Check it out, buddy. Over there.
I forgot about you. I am gonna probably skip a lot of the... kind of wish I didn't skip that. That would have been kind of cute. I like Naviru, but his voice does get kind of grating here and there. Alright, Yankutku, I believe, is tech-focused. Yeah, because he can shoot fire. It has been a while since I fought a lot of these earlier monsters, so forgive me if I don't remember what to do with a lot of them. Also, fun fact, if you win a head-to-head, yes, you do still take damage, but as long as you win the head-to-head, damage that normally would have killed you will leave you at 1 health, as many times as you can win the head-to-head. But if you tie or lose it, it will kill you. Uh, if that happens while you're riding a monster, it'll lower their health to 1 and knock you off, and you'll lose all your kinship charge, essentially. Also, breaking parts or getting other things fulfilled essentially will knock a monster down, and then all your hits are crits. Which rhymes, and I did not even intend that to happen. Yeah, so she's already up. Also, if you or your battle buddy uses a kinship attack, it essentially keeps the enemy from being able to have a turn. They just don't do anything that turn, which is quite nice. Also, you and your monster get healed for a little bit when you ride, so that's always good. It'll usually full heal you and sort of heal your monster, or it will heal the rest of what you're needing, and then however much left over for your monster. I think he goes speed next, but I don't know for sure, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use, yeah. Uh, it doesn't really matter if I try to range off do this. And there are statuses, of course. There's poisoning, there's paralysis, there's bleeding, um, burning. Trying to remember what else. Also, sometimes you can make the monster leave. It'll retreat. It'll say, it's retreating, and if it does, you get a guaranteed den. It's usually just one room, sometimes a little bit bigger, and it will have the retreated monster, which will be weakened if you end up fighting it, and a den that is guaranteed to have monster eggs of that monster. Yep. Yep. And right now it's sleeping. Okay. Give me an egg. Oh, this time it only wanted to give me one. You can usually pick multiple eggs. Well, every time you go to pick up another egg, you lose the one, of course, that you first picked up. So it's like you can keep trying to potentially get an egg that you're looking for or for a higher rarity, or you can play it safe and go with the one that you first got. And this is the introduction of caravan stations. The caravan stations are fast travel and save points. Oh, whoops. Oh my god, wrong button. Can I just talk to the, yeah. Every time you run into a new caravan station, you unlock it as a place that you can fast travel to and from. You can use to wait until evening or morning, or you can just straight up save it. We're going to fast travel. Same with towns. Towns count as places you can travel to. And we're back. And you'll notice we've got a station here now. And we've got our little courier feline, the Connect-a-Cat. Yeah, of course, early game, like any other RPG, is pretty. No, I don't. I'm good, Navi. I don't really need to listen to that right now. It's very tutorial heavy to start off with, of course, just like any sort of RPG. Also, always worth checking around with random people to see if they've got any like side quests or anything for you. And always good to check in here to turn in whatever you got. And like I said, a lot of the stuff is doable as many times as you want. So a good way to get some extra experience and stuff early on, and just have stuff to do as you go on anyway. That's all we've got at the moment. If you see it have a red complete next to it, that means you can re-accept it again, like that. And you can just do as many times as you want. If there was nothing next to it, then that means it's a new one that you haven't done yet. We're going to go ahead and hatch our Yankaku, add them to our party. I am going to make a point to actually name all my monsties. I named a lot of them on Switch. Mostly my main crew, and then, like, my secondaries. Also, you get to see all the monsties as babies, which is adorable. Why do we want to... Oh, I've actually got to use the keyboard. That's funny. This is normally where I would take chat input on what the name should be, but I don't think anyone's here yet, so... I'm gonna name you Cookie. Cookie with a K, how about? Cookie. Cookie's cute. Edit Monster Party. We're gonna add Cookie to our party. And now we got a trio. I could add the other Velocidrome, but I don't really need to, honestly. Go ahead and save while we're here. And here we can see how long we've played for, our experience level, whatever our Monster Party is, etc. So that's fun. I'll talk about the prayer pot while I'm over here. Oh, that's right. Normally this would be the amiibo function if it was on the Switch, but since you can't really use amiibos on Steam, instead you just get to do this for free. And we get to see a character we haven't met yet. And she's adorable. So this is something I think you can do once a day on the Steam version. On the Switch version, you can do it 3 times. Well, once per 3 amiibo, essentially. And depending on the fortune you get various items. Yeah, once a day here. Either once a day on Steam or 3 times a day, as long as you've got 3 different amiibo on the Switch version. The prayer pot also you can pray to, which at the moment we only have a training prayer, which ups our experience gain by 1%, which isn't much, but it's something. It's free to do, and it lasts for... it just kind of stays on as long as we want at this point. And those charms we've been picking up, you can also give to the prayer pot. And, you know, there's a lot of other functions but at the moment we've just got some luck charms, which add more points to our battles, which gives us slightly better rewards and makes it easier to get rare items. I'm just going to give a lucky charm. The more charms you give to the prayer pot will level it up. Right now it's level 1. It goes up to a max level of 20. And the higher the level it goes, the better all of the charms and prayers features are. So, like, the experience prayer will go up in terms of how much it gives you, and the rest get buffed as well. And here's the guy I was talking about. We've got a Malinx over here. So anytime you find and collect bottle caps on your adventure, you can bring them over to this guy and trade them in for stuff that's you can't get anywhere else. He's got some stuff that um, kind of rolls over into a couple other places, but there's a lot of stuff he has that you cannot get anywhere else, including certain upgrades and some certain cosmetics, like some layered stuff. And you can get bottle caps in any den, but you are guaranteed to get bottle caps in Everdens. And Everdens are dens that you can go into anytime you want. Well, as many times as you want. And there's no real objective in there. There's not like a certain monster at the very end that you're trying to beat. But it's one big den. Oh, hello. And it's full of items, full of monsters and stuff. And most, if not all, the items are bottle caps. And once you get, and you can tell what an Everden is because it's got this kind of like square shape. Also, anytime you see these kind of yellow stones, they're more valuable than whatever the blue stuff gives you. So we'll do this Everden real fast. And once you've gotten every single bottle cap from an Everden, they don't respawn in those Everdens. And so next time you go to that Everden, Naviru will be like, oh, we've cleared this Everden. And it'll say on the map also, like, cleared Everden. Now, some of the stuff you can't reach unless you've got certain monsters with you that have certain abilities. Um, like Velociraptors can jump, but sometimes you need monsters that can climb stuff. Sometimes you need stuff that can go over water. Um, etc. Probably should start fighting some guys more often so we can get some XP. I also would kind of... Oh, chest was over there for some reason. I also kind of want to hurry up and get to some of the monsters I really want. Where? Oh, it's right there. Okay, 1,000 Zenny. Would have liked some bottle caps. Another nice way to get bottle caps is doing co-op, not challenges, co-op quests, if you want to call them that. Um, I think you got to get to a certain point in the main campaign, and then you unlock co-op. You don't get to play through the story in co-op, but you can do essentially infinite co-op quests as long as you've got kind of essentially tickets, um, which are easy enough to come by. Let me look here. Oh, you know, I'm gonna go the other way. Also, it is worth knowing that when you pause, the stuff in the world around you does not pause also. It's kind of like Terraria's pause, where, well, I say pause. You pull up the menu, but stuff still keeps going on in the background. So if you're not careful, you might unpause and a monster might be right on top of you. So that is worth knowing. But that can be used to your advantage if you are being chased by a monster you don't want to fight. You can potentially pause and wait till you see his little red dot on the map move away from you, which is really nice to use if you end up getting into a fight that you can't run from. Like if you, for example, keep picking up eggs until a monster shows up. Because if you do that, it's an unrunnable fight. So it's like, oh well. Probably spending too much time going over how this game works. I mean, game's been out for a while. I'm sure people who want to play it have already, or at the very least know. Did I just get a straight up weapon from that? I don't remember that being a thing you could do. Yeah, straight up found a bow in a chest. Hi, Kulu. Makes me wonder if I missed any. Okay, not what I meant to do. If I missed anything like that in the Switch version. I did all the Everdens, but I know there's a few chests I didn't get here and there because I didn't have certain monsters with me at the time. I might have to go back and look. Oh, we gotta deal with this dude. Oh, you're just throwing me right into the fight. I was gonna pick some stuff up first, but alright. Bullet drum it is. For those of you who've played Monster Hunter games with Bull Drum in it, or even Bullfango for that matter, you'll know they're all about power. They are just a-holes. Also, I love how Kana's Velocitram has a little flower crown. Well, it's not a flower crown, like a little headdress on. It's so cute. And I wish there were cosmetics you could put on your monsties. If we get a Monster Hunter Stories 3 at some point, which I think is a possibility, I think there was an interview with Capcom's uh, MHS team that worked on this saying that they were like, you know, they'd be interested in making another one, depending on how this one is received. Because the first one was a great game, but since oh, nice evasion, but since it's locked to whack, since it's locked to just the 3DS and the iOS port, which I've got it on my phone, I play it here and there when I've got time. Oh, check this out. It's our boy! Where did this guy come from? Son of a gun, Lance, that's funny. Yeah. And he is already mad. Yeah, this is scripted, so that's supposed to happen, and then we bail. But yeah, if Monster Hunter Stories 3 happens at some point,
Whew, we got
I
away.
would really hope we get the feature to. Oh, we're still on fire. Uh, you can quick heal, but if you want to not be on fire, you've got to. Wait, do I only have one aloe leaf? Really? Well, we're just gonna be on fire for a minute. That's fine. Yeah, Monsty customization in the next game, if we get it, which I think we will. I'm fairly confident. Stories 1 was really good, and Stories 2. Now I have not finished Stories 1, of course, but from what I've played so far, it's a lot of fun, and I've heard people who have played it have really enjoyed it. But Stories 2, I can confirm, especially because I don't know, still playing it, uh, is an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. I thought I could. There we go. Um, it's a lot of fun. There's so much you can do. There's a ton of content, especially with the title updates they added, which I'm guessing we're not going to get any more at this point, but it would be nice if we did. Uh, I can see Stories 3 being pretty likely. So, like I said, if slash when we get Stories 3, please let us give costumes and/or accessories to our monsters, because I want to see Pookie walking around with a cute little hat or scarf on, or like a little costume. So we only got like one bottle cap, I think. But as you can see here, we can get items, weapons, armor, talismans. Oh, we got 10. Pardon me. I definitely recommend starting with the items section first. Weapons, you see some stuff that you're not going to see elsewhere, and some things that you're going to see. Also, this is kind of the overlap I was talking about, except for the Red Devil gun lance, armor, and some talismans, which there will be more added as we progress. But for now, we want to start here Gold fragments, you just sell them. Vitality, strength, and defense nutriments are essentially kind of like the Pokemon equivalent items like calcium, carbos, all those. You can use them on yourself and your monsties um, up to 10 times each to up their health, strength, and defense. Got some cosmetics, essentially layered armor, um, recipes for shock traps, trank traps, pitfall traps, sleep knives, poison knives. But we want to start with the stable blueprint. And I'll talk about that. That means we have more space in our Monsty stable for keeping monsters. Monsties, whatever you call them. We'll be getting more, whatchamacallem, bottle caps later. So I am going to go ahead and grab that. I believe that's layered armor. Because I'm thinking I might want to put it on. I do like the rider armor. It is cute. I like it. But I think I kind of want to put the other one on. So let's go take a peek. Yep, there it is. See, it's cute. I like it. Oh, gotta hit okay. Duh. Do I want to have the headpiece shown? Usually no, but I'll put it on for now because we got flowers and they look cute. Once I get some full actual armor sets, then I'll probably go back off. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and hatch our bull drone that we just got, because that's what this is, spoiler alert. And for now, we will add him to our party. Definitely gonna take him out as soon as we can, because who cares? I'm not... I don't think I'm gonna really bother with a name for him. I don't know what I would name him, honestly. Roadhog, maybe? I do wanna... I'm gonna rename you. Scootaloo Blue. There we go. Okie doke. Once we get further into the game, this is really gonna pick up. Especially once we get to post-game. Post-game is where stuff really, really takes off. Because then it's like you're not bound by story stuff, you're not bound by doing this and that. It's literally just like, okay, go do whatever you want, have fun. I've done everything there. We did get these, which we'll do later. Kind of no real reason to do that right now. And like I said, I'm probably not going to try 100%ing this file, just because I've already done it on the Switch. I did all the side quests, I did all the optional stuff, gotten every monstie, I've encountered and beaten every monster. I'm like 2 genes away from having collected every gene for the gene book. Hey look, our first talisman. We can actually put that on right now. Just raises up our health a little bit. Not bad, not bad. These are just random dens. Could have any sort of random common monster in them. Could potentially have a rare monster, but unlikely. Got some more Khonshu, who cares? More random dens, Bulldrum, Bullfango. We don't need any of them. I will take this. Yeah. Well, I guess. Oh, I wasn't even fully healed for some reason. Oh, it's because I added the talisman, so it upped my health. Yes, thank you. See, she uses items. It's so sweet. These guys are small time. They're no big deal. I'll tell you what is the big deal is a lot of the monsters later on. The bosses get rough, and the post-game content is real hard. Like, it's a shame you can't do story content cooperatively, because man, I would have absolutely gotten someone to help me out and been like, please save me. This is horrible. For those of you that have done the Elder Slayer and the special Elder Slayer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Technically, I still have to beat the final boss of the special Elder Slayer, but it is not crazy high on my priorities list because it's hell. It's not a great time. I'm actually um, I'm powering up a Stygian Cynoger to add to my team for said boss, actually, because I need a good dragon element monster. I want to talk about my go-to group on the Switch version, but I also don't want to spoil some of the monsters we're going to be running into because on one hand, there's people who maybe haven't played, and I would like to show off the monsters once we get to them. But on the flip side, several of the monsters we don't actually run into until very late into the game, some of which are post game or post main campaign, essentially, because there's a lot of content and a lot of game after the main story is finished. But if you know me and you know who my favorite monster of all time is, sadly, he doesn't show up until almost the end of the main campaign. Like, very, very late into the campaign. Which is a bummer, but it does give other monsters time to shine that they normally wouldn't have, because normally it would just be all about him. But we do have a few coming up not too long from now that are going to be mainstays. Also, just running through these dens, just having a good time in these areas, it's like actually pretty relaxing. Just running around on a monstie, whether it's Velocidrome or Kulu or a lot of the ones that we're going to run into later. Like it's just nice, just hanging out with your boys, your girls, your in betweens, your neithers, your whatevers they want to be. We love everyone here. Everyone is special. Everyone is valid, no matter what they want to be, how they feel, anything. I may not have any biney. I might be very biney-less, but I support anyone regardless of quantity of biney or not. Oh, speaking of which, it's our Pookie. It's a Pookie Pookie. I know some people will say it's Puke Puke, and my grammatical upbringing would lead me to say you're right. Also, I was about to say I think Kana has a Pookie Pookie Sword and Shield, but I will stick with Pookie Pookie. That's how I was first told it, and it's how I'm going to stick with it. It's Pookie Pookie. I think you start with tech. Yes, you do. Look at me acting like I don't know how Pookie work. I'm actually going to slow it down because I do want to experience Pookie some more. Also, this game looks so fluid and smooth with this crazy frame rate. Like, it really makes me realize how slow the Switch version runs, which honestly, the Switch version runs great for what it is, but it's capped at 30 FPS. So seeing it 60 plus is beautiful. It's so nice. Crunch time. Some of the names for abilities and attacks are pretty good, I will say. Oh, I love Pokey. For those of you who also don't know, Pookie Pookie is one of my favorite monsters. It's not the one I was talking about earlier, but it is one of my favorites. Also, yeah, you're about to use Venom Strike, which is gonna hurt. And that little bar below the health bar is the part break bar, or whatever you want to call it. Once it's gone all the way through, that part will be broken. Oh, here it comes. Comes the poison toots. Poison poots. And we're all inflicted with poison. And now we get the choice to pick different parts of the body to attack. Some monsters let you pick, others don't. Different weapon archetypes work against different parts. You've got slicing, you've got blunt weapons, and you've got like your cutting. The difference, sword versus like piercing, like gun lance or bow. We're also poisoned, but Kana might work on that. But what she was saying is that we got to get rid of that tail, so it can't use uh, whatever that one was called. The toots. They're still mostly focusing on the body. Yep. Of course, tail is weak to cutting because it's a tail. Other stuff like heads are usually weak to like blunt trauma, like horns and hammers. We are going to save our kinship attack because Canis is almost ready. Any battle buddy that has a multi-level kinship attack, like for example Kana and her Velocidrome, they will always use it the first chance they get. They won't save it up to level 2 or level 3. So if you've got yours ready, once theirs is ready, and you want to do a double kinship, you just got to go for it. Otherwise, if you want them to use it, then you can save yours to use a different turn if the monster that you're fighting against is going to use an attack that you maybe want to make them skip, because you'll use it on a turn and then they won't get their turn. Also, get a unique little double kinship. And a boom. And of course, big ol' stinky damage. And as far as I'm aware, the Power Clash is random. I don't know if certain things trigger it, or if it just, like I said, is random. But I think for the most part, it just kind of happens when it wants to. Might as well show off a couple things the Greatsword can do, like the Charge Tackle. If you fill up your little charge bars down there, you can pull off some stronger moves. But I think you gotta do it with the winning a head-to-head for it to count. But we've got Charge Slash and Charge Cut. Of course, they're going to do more damage when you do them with a head-to-head, but otherwise you can just do this and do big damage. Or a shield attack. Heartbroken. And kaboom. I mean, that's big damage for early game. That's pretty much nothing for late game. And Pookie's getting a snack. Go ahead and charge tackle again since... Oh, this time Pookie decided to swap to power attacks. And so, that was a tie. Elemental attack has gone down. Since we've got the kinship to do so, we're going to actually ask Ranmar to use Killer Strike instead. We'll use a speed move and get a double attack, which ups our kinship meter by a lot, does some good damage. And that's pretty much all there is to go over. I mean, of course, you can also use items, which we don't need to. You can also swap your monsties once per turn, which is cool. You can swap what weapon type you're using once per turn, so that's cool. There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of freedom, which I really, really like. And another double hit. You can see your turn count up in the top left. I haven't gone over the heart system yet. Anytime you faint or your monstie faints, you lose a heart. If you lose all 3 hearts, you lose the fight and you go back to wherever you last saved. Also, I know it's because Pookie's tired, but the half-lidded look is really cute. And same goes for your buddy. If your buddy runs out of all 3 hearts, you also lose the fight. So you can't drop, and they can't drop either. So you gotta be careful. I shouldn't have skipped it. I forgot we hadn't showed it off yet. Pookie should be almost done. Of course, using the kinship attack uses up all your kinship meter. Then you got build it back up. Best way being to win head-to-heads, double attacks, and certain abilities can speed up kinship growth. Um, Two riders can't get double attacks. It's literally just a rider and a monstie that can do a double attack. But a rider and another rider's monstie can do a double attack and vice versa, so that's cool. And Pookie's down. Are you going to retreat? No. Pookie's just out of commission. But we get Pookie parts. Here we've got our post victory screen. Sometimes the letter ranking doesn't make a ton of sense, I've noticed, but what are you gonna do? So a lot of goodies. We can work towards making some Pookie parts, Pookie armor, etc. Gonna hope that I can get a Pookie egg from this. I forget what they look like is the only issue. Hope that... I don't think that... maybe it's been a while since I hatched the Pookie, but I don't remember that being what they looked like. That looks more like a... It wouldn't be a Plesioth. We're not going to get to those in a while. I don't know. Nope, that's Pokey. Humble bird wyvern. I have to constantly correct myself and say wyvern. Like, all my life I've pronounced it wyvern, which just sounds... You know what? I am going to do a couple of these dens real fast while I'm just kind of rambling about stuff. Wyvern sounds like how it should be. And once again, growing up with the way I was taught grammar and English, it feels like and looks like it should be wyvern. A Y on its own like that in between two little consonants feels like it should be wyvern. But Y is also really weird because it's kind of a vowel, but it's really technically a consonant. So I get wyvern also. I already got one. Give me something I don't got. Actually, I'll take that. I think that's a Aptonoth. Or it might be a Larinoth. Probably not going to be in my party, but much like catching Pokemon that I know I'm not going to use, but I want to fill out the Pokedex, same thing. One of the hardest times I had actually in the not too recent, then not too far history, past, whatever you want to call it, um, was trying to get an Aptonoth, not Aptonoth, yeah, no, an Aptonoth and a Popo in high rank, because they are just, for some reason, really rare for showing up. Don't really know why, but I was trying to finish off my Monstepedia, and those were two of the last ones I needed, and they just did not want to show up. You essentially have to do the same dens over and over and over and hope they spawned in. Spoiler alerts, yes, we do unlock high rank missions later on. Right now it's all low rank, of course. But that's how it is with any Monster Hunter game. You start with low rank and you go to high rank eventually. There is no master rank in this, of course. You could argue that the post game stuff at the end is essentially master rank because it's stupid hard. This has essentially become a let's play. Like, I'm spending a lot of time going into the specifics of how this game works, but I like doing that. Blame the fact that I watched a lot of Chugga Conroy, and still do watch a lot of Chugga Conroy. I think Proton John had just as big of an influence on me as Chugga did. Right. So the cut queue is sleeping. We're probably going to end up waking it up. Unless I get an egg right off the bat that I want to keep. Which... I think, that's Kulu. We don't need another Kulu. There we go. Hey! If you see that glow, that means it's a rare. And it's another Velocidrome. But it's a rare one. So... sometimes you'll luck out and the monster won't even notice you. And you can just literally bail. Otherwise, it'll start usually chasing you immediately. We might actually put that extra Velocidrome in our party. I don't know for sure. I mean, it's not like we really need to, but... Rare monsties have better stats inherently than just regular run-of-the-mill common monsties. Um, they get better stat boosts when they're first hatched, sleepyfish, and they have a higher chance of having rare genes that a common version of the monstie won't normally have. And of course, super rares have even better chances and can have genes that even rare versions wouldn't necessarily have. Oh, I could have teleported back, but whatever. It don't matter. Right. We'll go hatch our new pals in just a moment. I might go for another hour or so. I don't know. Like I said, I do have an obligation um,
Chief, we've got
in a
cause for
little
concern.
while.
We ran into an
Pause
antelope.
for. Pretty sure I need to listen next time Naviru says Pookie Pookie, but I'm pretty sure he says Puke Puke. A lot like the. Actually, I can't remember. I'm actually not 100% certain how he says it. I know the handler in World says Puke Puke, but she also says Brachydios, so I don't really listen to the handler. So we got a lot of stuff. We've got some stuff we could do here. This is just that gets done as it does. Forage equipment, slay monsters, interdens. That says hard, which means it is kind of tough. Slay a Pookie Pookie. Of course, a lot of these pop up after you do certain things, and then other ones are ones that you can do as many times as you want. Anyone that has something like this, where you've got like the Hunter's Life thing, or you've got group healing or whatever, are definitely worth doing as soon as you can because they usually add stuff like whether it's more items that you can then combine stuff into, or more combos and moves that you can do with certain abilities, like unlocking stuff for Sword and Shield, or for Great Sword, or for Hammer, or Horn, or Bow, or Gun Lance, or whatever. So always good to focus on stuff like that, and they're pretty easy. I mean, I literally just need one more herb, and that's done. Um, nutriments and such, stakes, stones, combine enough. I mean, I can do that one literally right now. All I have to do is combine some stuff. And it's really that easy. Look at that. I get that. And that lets us combine immunizers. And we also get immunizers, which is essentially, it's kind of like if you played T2ID, it's a gradual shroom, essentially, but better. And that's one of the ones that you can only do once. Could do that. Let's go ahead and hatch our new pals. You better believe Pookie's going straight into our party. You can also just hatch all at once if you want to speed it up, which is nice if you got a lot of eggs. I should hold out for a rare or super rare Pookie, but I can always get more in the future. Also, look how cute baby Pookie is, and the sounds it makes are so adorable. There's our Aptonoth, and our rare Velocidrome, which gets an extra attack and defense, which is pretty cool. And I'm very basic. Much like my Pookie on the Switch version, this one will be named Pookie. Monstie Party. Pookie's coming in. I'm going to take Bulldrum out because I do not care. Um, yeah, yeah, why not? Once we start leveling up Pookie, Pookie will be our go-to. And this Pookie, unless I do get a rare, because super rare is definitely not going to pop up anytime soon, but this Pookie's going to be with us uh, for probably the rest of, if not most of, the rest of the game, because I love Pookie. And now we get to head to Guardian Wrath of Woods and actually get on with things. And since you can swap your monsters around anytime you want, essentially, Yeah, I know, thanks. I'm actually going to go ahead and put Pookie in front. Nope, oops. Look. Look at my beautiful Pookie. I just... This could be a pretty good thumbnail. Is there a picture mode that I'm forgetting about? I don't think there is. It's quite unfortunate. Maybe I can just crop out the UI. I can also hide my face, kinda. Yeah, that's thumbnail worthy. Hi, Pookie. Hi. Yeah, hi, Pookie. Every Monstie has some sort of ability it can do in the overworld. Um, or out of the field, I guess. Velociraptors can jump. Hi. And Monsties like Pookie can roar, which will frighten slash stun Monsties for a little bit that are nearby that get barked at, essentially. So it's good if you want to run by and actually have to fight a certain Monstie or monster. Like, no, you stop that. I love Pookie. I love Pookie so much. Like, nope, shut up. I went the wrong way. Oh, well, I mean, I can fast travel. And when you fast travel to a caravan stand, you can choose uh, to just go at the time you're already at, or to have it swap to evening. Also, let's go grab this chest over here. Wrong button. I meant to pick those up. Yep. Very short cooldown for using stuff like that. Also, you notice we picked up some paintballs. They have a very different function in this than they do in the uh, actual Monster Hunter games. Also, if you see a den like this, and also it even says subquest, the kind of barely bluish, crystally looking caves are subquest dens, so that's where that Blue Menace subquest is. Which I don't know if we've got what we need to take it on right now, because for an early game quest it is pretty tough. It's of course not an issue at all once you get higher level, but right now we might want to pass on it. Though I am going to stop by this Everdome and pick up some ball caps and such, and this chest over here. Alright. And Heart Churro is also something that can only be used out in the field, but it restores a heart if you lose one, whether that's for you or your battle buddy. So those are super useful to have. There's not a ton of items that restore hearts. You've got the heart churros, which can only be used on the field, and then you've also got um, I forget what it's called, but there's an item that restores one heart in battle. And then there's another item called an ancient potion that fully heals whoever it's used on and restores one heart. So it's essentially a full restore, like in Pokemon. Okay, got some bottle cap. Yeah, I don't have a swimming monster at the moment. The little preview showed Zamtrios. So if you were confused if he's in the game or not, do not worry, because he is. And he is a good boy. And there's another Pokey. It's definitely good to have a Monstie group that has a pretty good selection of Monsties that can do various field activities like jumping, breaking rocks, swimming, climbing, whatever. Or if you're me, you can just pick your favorites. And yeah, like say we need a Monstie that can break rocks for that. I believe Anjanath can do that, but I don't have. Oh wait, hold on. Yonkut? Oh yeah, of course Yonkutku can do this. That makes sense. Cookie. Hell yeah, Cookie. We can have Cookie out as our Monstie for a moment. Some Monsties have two abilities they can do in the field. Search is the other one that Cookie's got, which shows essentially points of interest on the map. In this case, uh, chests and eggs. I mean, chests usually pop up anyway, but you know. I'm gonna just ignore him for right now. Oh, really? Only one egg is all I get from that? I could fight him, but at the same time, I think I'm just gonna pass. Here's what I'm talking about. You can pause. That shows where he is. Oh, wait, hold on. Um, oh, that's weird. Maybe that's not what they intended, because on the Switch version, when you quote-unquote pause, yeah, see, you don't get to run away from fights like this. That's so weird. In the Switch version, you can pause and just wait till you see the monster leave, which is great to do if you're in online co-op missions because you can't actually run from any monster fight in those at all. And since those are timed, it's good to ignore those whenever you possibly can. I'll have Ranmar out because Ranmar's our best at the moment. And also speed-oriented. But we've beaten a bull drone before, so we actually get to see his health, which is nice. Alright, he got poisoned, which is pretty sick. And he's done. Was not my plan to fight him, but hey, we get experience, we get some goodies. Who cares? Oh, I still got the egg, that's right. It's nice that once you do have an egg, you can, once you get to the threshold of the actual den itself, you can totally just fast travel out of there. It's really nice. And this is Guardian Wrath of Woods. You can probably guess by the name what we're going to find here. No, it's not going to be a bunch of Rathalos. I wish. Alright, Pokey, you're in charge again. That happy Pokey sound. Got a chest, but I think we need either to be able to jump or climb. No, I think it's a jump, actually. Yeah, it's jump, okay. And I picked the wrong side. Cool. Whatever's in that chest better be worth it to take my time like this. Oh, alright. Glad it prompts you to just swap to whichever one you need right there. It's a nice little quality of life thing. Also, this is significantly more chill and low-key than the nightmare of the T2ID randomizer earlier, so this is nice. This is a nice, refreshing change of pace. And also I get to talk and gush and ramble about monsties, and also we need monstie that can climb right there, and that showed off the Congalala. I should probably be fighting more, but like I said, I'm just kind of going for speed at the moment. Yes, I said speed. Hi, Kulu. Is the dead end? Yeah, it is. But we get a goodie. Cool. Burn ointment is, as it probably sounds like, made from aloe leaves. Every pretty much every item has its base self and then like its better version. So like you've got the aloe leaves, for example, which cure burning. Or you can combine them with whatever the other thing is into burn ointment, which not only cures burning, but also prevents whoever it is used on from being able to be burned for a set number of turns, like 3 or 5 or however many. Same thing with poison, same thing with blast prevention, etc. That's nice. It's kind of nice that there's not like music in this section. I do like a good music. What? I do like a good soundtrack, songs, music, what have you. But sometimes it's nice to just hear the thumping as you run around with your monstie. Just plays out. It's very pretty. I need to go sweat. There's not even anything right there. Oh, I guess technically there's like an item. It's pretty. It's nice. It's feel good. When I don't have anything going on and I'm just hanging out, I'll usually boot up stories too on my Switch. And if nothing else, I'll usually just kind of let the what's the town called? Mahana. Yeah, I'll usually just let Mahana Village's little chill, relaxing tune just play in the background while I do stuff. It's really nice, and it helps because God, wrong button. And it helps because I can listen to that while the expedition parties go out and do their stuff, which once again I'll get into that once we unlock the option to do that. And so I can wait the hour or so it takes for that to happen while I get to listen to the tune and just do whatever else. It's a good time. It's like actually super relaxing just listening to the thumping of my boy, taking him steppies, just hearing the wind and the water. Vital Essence, that's what it's called. That's the one that restores a heart. So those are pretty imperative to have. Also, every once in a while, you run into feline burrows that you can actually go into. And they're kind of essentially rest stops. You can heal up, restore hearts, you can save, you get goodies your first time here, and the music's actually really chill. I like it. You can save while you're here, and you can fast travel to other caravans from here, but you can't fast travel to these dens. It's essentially Nurse Joy. Supportive feline. Yep. Let's take a look at that. What we get? Anti-burn. Every occasionally uh, prevents burn. This song's good. First time I heard this song, I was like, it's going on my playlist. I love it. It's very chill and it's fun. It's just like, yeah. Especially that little like descending part. It's chill. Oh, that's a dead end. The soundtrack for this game is lovely, by the way. Um, there's a lot of monsters that I wish it used their themes from the actual Monster Hunter games. So that's a little bit of a bummer that they didn't. And it's like, oh, that's just, they just stick with the typical monster music or like the quote unquote boss music that we get occasionally. One monster in particular gets a brand new piece used as his theme in this game. Sadly, you'll only hear it the first time you fight him when it's story specific. Hi, Pookie. Um, but there are two monsters that you do get to fight eventually that do get their actual themes from World, which is awesome. And I'm not spoiling it. And the final boss of this game has a really good sound, a really good theme also. Also, I probably shouldn't have skipped the story parts there. Long story short, this Anjanath is beefed up, and it's hard to hear it over him freaking out, but this piece is pretty good too. If we wanted to, we could swap weapon. In fact, I kind of want to swap here. We get slightly better piercing rate, or crit rate, and better damage overall. Hammer would not be bad for when he goes, when his nose bone sticks out, so we're probably actually going to do that eventually. Let's use the bow. Let's show some different weapon types off. He's starting with speed, which I should have remembered, but he can even go after me, so it's okay. The bow, depending on the kind of bow you might have piercing, you might have sleep, you might have what have you. We can attempt to sleep him, see if it works. No guarantee, but might as well try. Oh god, it actually did work. Hell yeah. So of course crits, but then it's T2ID rules where um, when you hit him afterwards, it might wake him up or it might keep him asleep. You never really know. More often than not, it seems to wake him up. Okay, the nose bone's out, so things are going to start getting rough. But if we target that nose bone, we might be able to break it. I think he's going. Oh, we can't target it yet, but I think he's going for. Nope, going for power. Kind of thought it was tech, but oh well. I think once he charges, it'll let us go after the bone, but I don't know. If only she would wait like one more turn, we could have. Yeah. Well, that skipped his turn that he was going to charge up. So theoretically, he's going to charge up this turn. I'm just going to attack. Yeah. He's going to charge up his fire. Can we target the bone yet? No, we can't. He's going to do his big attack, which we're going to keep him from doing for another turn. But now he's going to do it. So now would probably not be a bad idea to do something to keep that from happening. But there's not much we can do at this point. So this is going to hurt. Yep, now everyone's on fire. I'm guessing, I can't remember, it's been a while. I'm guessing it's scripted when it lets me actually attack his bone. So for now, we're just gonna. Oh, well, Kana might go down actually, because she's on fire and lost. Yep. There's the heart stuff I was talking about. I'm going to attempt to put him to sleep. See if it works. Almost broke apart, which is cool. Okay, no sleep this time. I don't think I mentioned it, but breaking parts off a monster will get you more rewards at the end, of course. Just like in Monster Hunter, where sometimes stuff is more likely to show up if you break certain parts or cut certain parts or whatever. And this should break that. Or maybe. Almost. This should do it. There it is. And now he's peeved. Oh, and the fire killed me. I kind of forgot about being on fire. Now I think we can actually target it. And also writing will get rid of status ailments. Yeah, so now we can go after the nose. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and use kinship because she's going to, so we might as well do some big damage. Part broken, and now he's on the floor, so let's do some big old damage. 254 is pretty big for this early in the game, so that's nice. And he's sleeping. Well, he's tired. Could have tried sleeping him, but he's almost done. Once you see him like that, panting, drooling, whatever, you know you're in the home stretch. If he survives this turn, which I don't know if that's going to happen. Yeah. This will probably finish him. Oh, never mind. There it is. He got nothing on us. And he was Rage Raid, as they coined the term, because all these weird raids showed up. And his eyes were all freaked out, and he went into a rage. Got some cool stuff. Some goodies. He's sleeping. Oh yeah, and this girl's here now.
Did it, buddy! That was amazing.
I can summarize the story if people are super interested. But I can't imagine a ton of people are. It's not a bad story. Pretty good, honestly. I do have my own qualms with it, which I'll talk more about later on in the game as we get to certain parts. Um, for a game where you, hey, Chibos, for a game where you're playing a silent, essentially, protagonist, um, I don't feel like the protagonist was done super well, especially when it's like quote unquote you, essentially. It's like I can't even go all the way out to that, can I? I don't know. I feel like they didn't put the player character as well as they could have. And I'll talk about that as we get to some examples, but I'm someone who, when I play a game where, essentially like this, where, look, it's me, like, I named it Vela, and they don't talk, so I put my own commentary in or whatever, I I want the character to either essentially be written how I would be, which not all game developers have the idea of, oh, let's make this character just like Bella, like. Um, or I want them to essentially be dry enough that you can just kind of put whatever sort of personality you want on them. Like, oh, it's you, insert yourself, self insert. Um, and I feel they went a very specific way with the protagonist here. And it's like, okay, this is who they are. And you're like, no, but I want them to be how I want. But I'm also probably just being a pansy. Hello, Ludroth. Goodbye, Ludroth. We did not full heal up after the Anshanath fight, so we're still missing a heart. Gotta keep... Oh, I'm hiccuping. Gotta keep that in mind. Alright. Story-wise... I still gotta open that up at some point. Open that up, I say, as if it's like a gift. We've got some... Slagtoth. Almost forgot y'all's names for a minute. I'll come back and deal with them later. And look, we got some Jaggy. Hello, you're very cute. This next area we're about to run into is quite pretty. I'll talk about it when we get there. Which is now. Alcala is very pretty. I love this place. There's great Jackie over there. Got some more Jackie and Jaggy, Laranoth. There's a Royal Ludroth, which is going to be in our party very soon. Alcala is pretty big, and this is just one portion of it. We've got more to see in a little bit. Place is nice. It's very cozy. It's a very fun, cozy experience with another cutscene. Just like I said, just like oh yeah, here's this is what we got after we fought the Anjanath. We
You
found
okay, buddy? How's the
found an
cold?
egg. It's a Rathalos egg, but it's a special Rathalos. Long story short, a Wyverian shows up, uh, takes Ina, who's that girl that's with us, yada yada. Probably should be skipping through all the cutscenes, story stuff, but game's been out for a while. And I do want to get to the meat of the game and start getting more monsties and doing more things. Um, Gargwa. I almost called you Kurapeko. I don't know why. That's definitely not what you is. Even the sound effect for like picking up things is really satisfying to me. I just love this game. It's such a feel-good game. It's definitely one of the games I just anytime his running animation is adorable, by the way. Yep, that's the guy did sucker.
Don't worry, Anna. We're here to stay.
Naviru is cute, but he can be a little much sometimes. Yeah. So that guy's name is Alwyn. He is Ina's brother, and he lives at Ruto Village, which is this little place right up here. They are a Wyverian people. Kind of think of like your typical Lord of the Rings style elves. That's kind of what these guys are like. Most of the ones here are very friendly, but some of the higher ups are kind of just like stuck in their old ways and all that. Also, I think that was a Yonkutku mailbox, and that is so cute. I love it. Also, this town is really quaint too. I spend most of my time at Mahana Village when I'm not doing anything. Alan's cute though. I mean, look at him. I mean, Ina's cute too, but you know. So once again, every little town has its own port hub stuff. Like you've got a catavan station, you've got your prayer pot, you've got your quest board. Every time your kinship stone levels up, which it did after the Anjanath fight, you can unlock the next star ranking missions. We were at 1 star, so of course now we've unlocked 2 star. Get some basic goodies. You can re-accept that one. You're going to be re-accepting the stone collector one the entire game because it's very easy to pick up stones. So you're constantly going to be re-accepting that. We already unlocked the Alcala Elite trial quest, even though we have not fought Arzuros, Royal Ludroth, or Kurapeko. So we'll be saving that one. We'll do that other trial quest here in a little bit, probably cap things off. We've got a shop here for your basic resources. Music here is pretty quaint too. We will get to use that as our own. In the Switch version, you can't jump off of ledges like that. You literally would have to walk down the stairs. Can you do that with, like... Okay, not those. Weird. You got a smithy here as well. We fought a couple things, so we have a couple more options, like the Anjanath stuff. We can see up in the top right how much longer we have on our charm we used. That's some big damage change from, like, Pookie Pookie up to Anjanath. Do we have enough for... And when you want to forge it, you'll see that it takes some of the monster parts, and then some other stuff too, which in this case is basic mid-grade ore. So I don't have the ore I need for that. So for now, we'll make some pooky pooky stuff. Now we finally got a sword and shield we can use. I'll replace the great sword. Pooky armor is both cute and the best defense we can have right now. Absolutely. The Manabra stuff's cute. The Kaku's not bad. The Anja armor's pretty good, obviously. Of course, you can sell trade and stuff, which is just going to be like stuff that you can't do anything else with. You can sell talismans if you're not going to use them. Which right now I'm gonna. I mean, you might as well. If you're not going to ever use a talisman, you might as well sell it because there's no melding. You can't meld them into other stuff. I'm going to stick with just the health talisman for right now until we get better stuff. You can sell old armor, but I'm going to hold on to them for right now because you can get layered armor later, and I want to talk about that when I get to it. Got the Connect-A-Cat, of course. We got a little mailing so we can go talk to as well. If you ever see anything like this on a map, that means you've got quests you can pick up from various NPCs. If you see blue exclamation marks, that means it's a side quest you can turn in. Also, hello, I've never seen Palumu flying above. I feel like the Switch version had a lot of stuff missing, or maybe I just never noticed, I don't know. I mean, Palumu's a monster I don't spend a whole lot... Oh. Palumu's not a monster I spend a lot of time thinking about, but it is cute. Also, hello. It's a downy crake. There's someone in that barrel.
Meow.
And a barrel. It's the perfect disguise. What was that?
Oh, positively quadacious.
Positively audacious. So there will be more that we can talk about with the Downy Crakes and finding stuff later on. Actually, I'm curious if I can find her anymore while we're here. Not a bad idea to talk to anyone you run into, by the way, because you never know who's gonna... There might be some people that you didn't know had side quests. There were some people I found just a few months ago in Mahana Village that had side quests that I had somehow never picked up. Her grandfather is the village elder. This other guy, Zellard, is his like second in command essentially. Hi Palumu. They pretty much don't 100% trust me, but they're like, look, you can use this house over here to like hang out while you're here.
Could the legend grandfather spoke of really
She is
be true?
cute. I'll give her that. She is pretty cute. I have to test this on the Switch later, because I don't think you can do that. Also, you can change Ina's outfits. And here's the little Downy crate that we found. Right now, all we got is this and her basic outfit, so we'll just leave her with that. Haven't unlocked anything for him. Nothing new for me. I'm going to save it up here. I was going to go a little bit longer, but we got to Ruto Village a little sooner than I was expecting. So I almost feel like I should just end it here. It's midnight on my end. Oh, let me double check. Like I said, I promised a good friend of mine that we'd hang out. Yeah, they'll be ready in about 40-50 minutes or so. I could go a little bit more. I'll do like another 10 minutes. somewhere between like 10 and 30 minutes, because I also could use a bathroom break. Where's Alan? He's up there. You'd think the giant, map quest icon would have led me to him.
These are our stables. Feel free to use them as you please.
He's got a good
Let me know
voice.
if there's anything you need help with.
Hey, thanks.
Naviru is essentially just like, I like donuts. And Alan's like, I don't even know what a donut is. And then he's like, what? I can't fathom someone not knowing what a donut is. That just don't make sense. And shenanigans ensue. I do want to check out the May links while I'm just kind of vibing. Hello, hello. I've got more bottle caps. Got 22. And look, we've already got enough. As you'll notice, we've got a few new things. Herbivore stimulant, bird wyvern stimulant. You can read. Stimulants are the things used to unlock those gene slots that are locked that I was talking about earlier. So we're going to go with the stable blueprint number 2. I'll go ahead and unlock the pitfall. Whatever it's called. And there's a couple more things added here. These aren't bad to get early on, but of course, if you don't get them early on, they're not really worthwhile in the future. That's not a bad talisman to start with, but I would recommend focusing on getting all the items you can first, or at least all the useful stuff if you're not interested in the cosmetics, and then getting the optional stuff from there. Probably talismans after items, and then like weapon and armor stuff if you want. Okay, so he's essentially saying we're gonna go take on a Palumu. But now, Alwyn's our buddy. And Alwyn is pretty cool. And he's got a very cool monster as its buddy. And as you'll notice, I should have specified, if you see a blue exclamation mark like this, it means a subquest you can pick up. If it's blue but has a white exclamation mark in the middle, then that means it's a subquest that you have that you can complete by, like, it's been completed. All you have to do is go talk to the person and be like, it's done.
Hello?
This is just
Thank you.
go fight some Arzuros. Where's the other one? Over here. Wait. Am I stupid? Oh, I see. Just had a moment of like, I can't actually tell where I'm going. So, not a bad idea to check the map whenever you head into a new town and see if you see some stuff. Just like, oh, boom. Oh, and this is... quiz. Question 1. Which of these items makes a Meowster more likely to retreat from battle? Paintballs, weirdly enough, in this game, only last for 3 turns. So it's good to use a paintball when a monster is almost defeated, because otherwise it'll run out if you're not fast enough. Which of these items works well in flying monsters? That would be a flash bomb. That's just like actual Monster Hunter, so that's a gimme. Which item deals damage to monsters regardless of hardness? That would be the barrel bomb, just like main Monster Hunter. We got a thing that lets us craft zest pills. This guy will eventually have more quizzes for us, so we'll just check back in here and there, of course. Also make some immunizers. Zest pills, cure, skill seal, and type seal. And those are essentially, if a monster uses a skill seal or type seal on you, it'll be like power skill seal or speed or text skill seal or whatever. And that just means you can't use a move that has that typing for a set number of turns, or unless you heal yourself of it. And that usually means that they're prepping to use a move that is weak to said move that they just sealed. Some pitfalls triggered by speed attacks, whereas trank and paralyzed ones are other ones, etc. How about we go fight the Palumu, and then we'll come back, save up, and be done for the stream. Like I said, I wasn't going to do a too long stream for this. I'm going to try to schedule the next time I do the stream when people are around so that it's more interesting. Also, look! Alvin's got a Legiana! It's really pretty. And I actually played this game before I played Monster Hunter World, so by the time I ran into Legiana in World, I kind of knew a bit about them because of Stories 2. Like how pretty they sound, for example. Also, I am going to try to make this beautiful lady here retreat so I can get a great Jackie of my own. Also, Shulk is the Legiana's name, which is interesting. Alwyn fights with a bow. I think that's a Yangaruga bow? Spoilers, Yangaruga is in the game. I like Yangaruga. It doesn't have a ton of potential for, like, being very good, but I'm still gonna end up getting it because I like Garuga, and it can learn a lot of genes. Well, it can get a lot of genes that are really useful for a lot of monsters I'm gonna want in the future. Also, we have already lost a heart. That's I think the little ones are starting with power attacks. I wasn't paying attention. Some are power, some are speed. I love Legiana's sound effects, they're so good.
Show me your skills.
Hey, Breaker. No, quit hitting Renmar. I responded to something. You've been using power this whole time. Okay, good, you're still using power. Yep, see there I got to do a double attack with Shulk. Even though he's not my monster. Oh boy. Oh, I didn't mean to skip that. If you're on speed 3, it auto skips the Icicle Realm is a cool kinship, so I want to make sure that that is shown off next time. We're just going to use Velociprush.
You've improved.
There we go. I meant to paintball! I was not paying attention. Well, I mean, we couldn't see the health bar, so it would have been kind of a shot in the dark anyway. Well, there will be plenty more chances for Great Jaggy, so we will make use of that when we can. And now we'll actually get to see the health bar next time we run into one. Cutscene. Alright. Catavan. Okay. And now the scout flies. Which is honestly a nice addition. I do like. Oh, also, fun fact. If you see a den that looks like that, that's all gold and neat looking, it is a rare den. And you're likely to find monsters that you normally wouldn't find in there, and you are more likely going to get a rare egg at the end than a common one. But that doesn't mean you're guaranteed, it's just more likely. Also, hello, Kurapeko. I'm going to skip you for now, because I'm going to fight plenty of you later anyway. Anytime you see bones that are golden, much like those golden, like, rock outcroppings, yeah. Um, they're usually stuff you can sell, or they're good things. Green and blue, what is that again? Or, did I say green and blue? Green and yellow? Um, that might be Kurapeko, actually. Oh, super rare. Was not expecting super rare, but it's for one I've already got. But I'm nah, screw it. I want to try to get something I don't got yet. Another super rare. Dang. You know what? We'll stick with this. This is one we haven't gotten yet, and it's super rare, so the game clearly wants me to have this. Pretty sure that's Kurapeko. Yeah, yeah, it is. Okay. Goodies won't hurt. Give me the honey. Oh, I'm good. Thanks, though. I should be fighting all these guys for experience and stuff, but not really feeling like it. Got an Everdin right over there. Also, Everdins show up on the mini map and your actual map, so that's an easy way to see them. Everdins and subquest dens will show up on the map, whereas basic regular dens, well, regular dens, rare dens, super rare dens. I haven't even talked about super rare dens yet. Those are, as the name implies, super rare. Um, but those don't start showing up till high rank anyway. Let me grab you. Oh, I'm good right now, thanks. Yep. And now we go deeper. Yeah. We're definitely not as leveled up as the game would suggest we be at this point. Because like I said, I have been skipping a lot of fights, but that's not really gonna start biting us in the butt until a bit later on. And by then I'll have more of the monsters I plan to use more often. And since I know a bit more about what to do with this game, compared to my original playthrough where I was kind of struggling for a while, it will be fine. I'm going to try to use Pookie this fight. I know Pookie's not my highest level monster. Monsty, sorry. Um, but I want to show off Pookie. And I want to show off Pookie's kinship skill. Yeet. Oh, I missed the spot. Try that again. I love how it sounds like we just take off. A couple routes, but I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Maybe I feel like would it be over here? Might be a dead end. We got Arzuros is right behind us. There we go. Oh no, perfect, perfect. There it is. Very similar to the Monster Hunter World cutscene. Alright, Palumu. Like I said, I'm going to show off Pookie this time. Oh, Pookie's level 8 also. Oh, everyone's level 8. Pookie's got some high health compared to the rest. Well, because I think it's technically a rarity higher than the rest of these guys. Alright, Pookie. This is your moment. This is what you've been waiting for. I don't remember what it starts with. Oh, it starts with attack. Whoops. Nice crit. He's doing fine. Don't let me forget. I'm going to show off Pookie's kinship skill when we get there because it's super cute and I love it. I still have a replay save of the first time I saw it when I originally played it, and I'm like, oh, my precious baby. Nice, nice, Alvin. Nice, Pokey. Nice, Alvin. He's floating. Get the neck pouch. And of course, if you do enough damage to the neck pouch, it'll bring him down. Yeah. And that's pretty much his way to say, like, piercing is what you want to use there. So we're actually going to swap to our bow, which is not as much damage, but we get some bonus damage to, you know, picking a better weapon type. And another double attack. Doesn't matter because actually he did that. That somehow wasn't enough to get us fully charged, which is frustrating. Oh well. Getting to do a kinship attack while a monster's down like that does a lot of damage. Poison. Yes, thank you. Flash. Easy free damage. And we're at kinship time. So let's show off the wonderful Venom Surprise after Alvin charges. Look at my baby. I love Pookie. And Pookie makes a little umbrella so I don't get poisoned. Such a good boy. We love Pookie. In this house, we stand Pookie. You start with tech, right? Yeah. Double tech. Alan trying to steal the show again. Nice 60 damage, my dude. Nice 32 damage, my dude. Nice poison damage. We got Focus Slash, might as well use it. Charge up our kinship pretty well. Lost focus. Raising burst. And some poke damage. Should be going back to speed attacks, I think, now. Well, once it sucks up. I'm not going to bother swapping weapons, I'm just going to focus on damage. Should finish that. Oh, almost. Almost. Oh, never mind, he's done. We didn't even have to break another part.
Well done. I'm impressed.
Nice, nice, nice. Free Palumu goodies. Maybe we can get a Palumu egg.
You did it, buddy!
Thanks. Go grab a egg. I am gonna make Pookie my lead because I want to ride Pookie. Gift. That's definitely a Palumu egg. I remember what a lot of the eggs look like for specific monsters, but there are some that I'm gonna be like, I don't know. Especially later on once we have access to tons of monsters, and it's like, there's like 5 it could be. Let's let's just fast travel right on back to Ruto. Nothing to collect. We will hatch our Palumu, who we're probably going to toss in here, actually, into our crew. Oh, and the Kurapeko also would not be bad, especially since it's going to have better genes. Oh no, I'm so sorry, it's blue Yankaku, which we actually haven't run into in the field yet. And Palumu's fur looks gorgeous! These graphics settings make Palumu look so plush and pretty. That's incredible. So that's my good Velocidrome. That's Ranmar, who I'd be kind of upset to get rid of, but I mean, this Velocidrome just has better stats in general. We're going to put the blue Yonkutku in here. And I would like the Palumu. So I think we're going to take Kululu out at the moment. Yeah. We gotta think of some names for our new members. If regular Yonkutku is kooky, this is gonna be Lukey. And then I want to say Palulu, but that's a little too similar to Kululu, I suppose. Could just go Pow or Po. Or Kumu. Or Mumu! Mumu is cute. Hell yeah. I totally forgot about Blue Yonkutku. I was convinced that was Kurapeko. Cutscene skip, we don't care. Yada yada, he's like, congrats, you beat up a Palumu, now go fight a Basarios. But I'm gonna save up and be done for the evening. That's pretty late on my end. Like I said, it's 12:30 in the morning to specify. And I've got some plans coming up here soon. Yes, even though it's this late, because that is how I roll. That's perfect. It's also great to get a new Monstie and then immediately complete specific subquests or whatever, and then you just get a bunch of free experience for them. I did say we would do the Hakalo Elite at the end, so let's go ahead and knock this out, get some easy experience, and we'll be done. And then tomorrow, my time, we'll probably do some more T2ID randomizer. So I'm already feeling more interest. And maybe more stories too. This is something very chill, very low stress until I get to the later portions of the game. That I would ideally like to have my pals with me when I do. Because this stream, for the most part, has literally just been a Let's Play, because no one's here, as far as I'm aware. That's fine. It'll make a semi-interesting VOD, and people will maybe come to the next one. I also didn't advertise the stream at all, and I started pretty late, so I'm not surprised. I think Kulu's tech, yeah. Doesn't matter. Alwyn just murdered him. Also, yes, you get to use your battle buddies in the trial quests, which we noticed because we did it with Kana earlier. So, Kulu's holding a rock, which we're going to break. Oh, I forgot he swaps to power. Duh. There we go. It's broken. Free item and free crit. Show me your moves. Also, we're not getting the gold reward because we didn't finish in 5 turns or less. But like I said, you can redo these as many times as you want, so we'll come back when we are stronger and we'll make sure that everything is done to the best of our ability, like getting S ranks in arena quests and Monster Hunter. And I definitely do plan on doing co-op quests, of course, once we get to them and unlock them. That will make for some good stream content and could be good for viewer integration if anyone watching is like, oh, I also have the game I want to play too. Or, oh, I'm stuck on such and such quest and I would love some help. Some help. Like, absolutely. I could do a Kala Elite, but I really could use a bathroom break. I'm kind of dying. So let's save up and we'll call the stream for tonight. Thanks everyone so much for coming by. If you did, whether you said anything or not, um, thank you for the future people watching the VOD. I really appreciate the VODs getting love and attention. I know they're unedited, which might not be everyone's cup of tea. Um, some people like that sort of stuff. Other people like compilations. Once I get to the point where I can put in the time to edit compilations and montages and stuff, I will, so I can break stuff down like the T2ID 8.5 hour nightmare and make that more of a clip compilation, and future stuff as well. But for those who do like long content, like the VODs currently are, go wild, have fun. There's a lot to enjoy, I hope. Yeah, so I'm gonna call that for tonight. I got things to do, but we will definitely do some more stuff tomorrow. Love y'all dearly. Even you in the future watching this right now, I think you're very cool. If you like what I do, feel free, if you're interested, in give me a watch over here so you can see when I'm streaming, because I've got a very spastic, unknown stream schedule as is. I just stream when I can, essentially. And my YouTube, if you're interested, where all the VODs go, and my Let's Plays and other content when I record goes. If you're interested, you can drop a subscribe over there and some likes and such, or whatever you feel like. Also, comments are really great. I like interacting with people, so say things, and I will respond to your things and be like, thank you for the things you've said. I like it a lot. Alright, good night. I am tired. Sleep well if it is sleepy time for you. Good morning if it is morning time for you. Afternoon, evening, whatever it may be. I love y'all.